You've probably heard the wild claim, whispered around campfires and shared in viral videos. Moose, the largest of all deer species, have a secret weapon, a jaw that can unhinge, like a snake's, to devour its food. It's a shocking and, let's be honest, terrifying image. A bull moose that can weigh over 1,500 pounds with a dislocating jaw sounds like something out of a nightmare. But is there any truth to it? Could this massive herbivore really have such a bizarre and seemingly carnivorous feature? In this video, we're going to explore the anatomy of these magnificent giants to expose the reality of what a moose's jaw can actually do. And the truth is even stranger and far more impressive than you might think. The myth of the unhinging moose jaw is a persistent one. It pops up in online forums, hunting tales, and casual chats about the animal kingdom's wildest features. It's easy to see why the idea has such a powerful grip on our imagination. We've all seen images of snakes swallowing prey larger than their own heads, their jaws seemingly detaching in a feat of biological engineering. When we then look at a moose, an animal of immense size and power, it's tempting to assign it similar, almost supernatural abilities. The legend feeds on a kernel of truth. Moose are incredibly powerful eaters. Their diet isn't soft grass, it's tough, woody vegetation. They strip bark from trees, snap thick willow branches, and spend their winters munching on frozen twigs. Doing this requires immense jaw strength. From this fact, the myth blossoms. People see a photo of a moose mid-yawn, or a video of it peeling a long strip of bark from a sapling, and their minds leap to the most dramatic conclusion: the jaw must be unhinging. On top of that, the very anatomy of a moose's mouth can be misleading. There's a large, toothless gap between their front teeth and their back molars. This space, which we'll get into, can look like a pre-designed breaking point, a spot where the jaw is meant to come apart. This mix of powerful feeding habits and deceptive anatomy has created the perfect storm for a myth that's as widespread as it is anatomically impossible. But to really understand why it's a myth, we have to look past the folklore and examine the blueprints of the moose itself. Alright, to bust this myth, we need to get into some moose dental and jaw anatomy. Let's start with the skull. A moose's jaw, like that of all mammals, including us, is not designed to unhinge as a normal function. The lower jaw, or mandible, connects to the skull at a specific point called the temporomandibular joint, or TMJ. You have one on each side of your head. This joint is a sophisticated hinge that lets the jaw move up, down, and side to side for chewing. It's held together by a complex web of powerful muscles and tough ligaments that provide strength and stability. For a moose's jaw to unhinge, it would have to tear through these incredibly strong tissues, causing a traumatic dislocation, a painful injury, not a superpower. Now let's talk teeth. An adult moose has 32 of them, but the layout is highly specialized. Up front on the bottom jaw, they have 8 sharp incisors that they use like a scraper to strip leaves and bark from branches. Curiously, they have no upper front teeth at all. Instead, they have a tough, bony plate. When they bite, these lower incisors press vegetation against this upper plate, letting them pull and rip tough plant matter. Then, there's that big gap. This toothless space is called a diastema. Far from being a design flaw, the diastema is a brilliant evolutionary tool for herbivores. It allows the moose to use its long, prehensile lips and tongue to move branches around in its mouth without getting its own cheeks in the way of the grinding happening in the back. And the back is where the real work gets done. A moose has 24 massive, ridged molars and premolars. These teeth are like rugged grinding stones. The side-to-side motion of the jaw, powered by enormous chewing muscles, allows these molars to pulverize woody twigs and tough bark into a digestible pulp. Every part of this system, the TMJ hinge, the specialized teeth, and the diastema, is designed for strength and efficiency. There is absolutely no anatomical mechanism that would allow this structure to come apart on purpose. So, if moose can't unhinge their jaws, what can they do? The reality is far more mechanically fascinating. The true secret weapon of the moose isn't dislocation, but an incredible combination of leverage, muscle power, and specialized tools. Their diet is brutal. To survive, an adult moose needs to eat up to 70 pounds of food a day, much of which is tough, woody plants, especially in winter. To get this food, a moose has several techniques. For high branches, it can stand on its hind legs to reach up to 14 feet off the ground. For smaller trees, it will use its body weight to bend the sapling over, pinning it to get at the tender shoots. Once the food is in its mouth, the real show begins. The wide gape of their jaw, while not an unhinging, is impressive. It allows them to clamp down on a branch and then use those powerful lower incisors and bony upper palate to strip the bark clean off in long ribbons. The chewing itself isn't a simple chomp. It's a powerful side-to-side grinding motion. As the mandible moves, the ridged molars shear and crush the tough plant fibers. Scientists have even noted a seesaw rocking motion in the jaw under a heavy load, a subtle movement that helps distribute the immense pressure needed to break down wood. This isn't a jaw coming apart. It's a finely tuned machine working at maximum efficiency. On top of all that, they have a four-chambered stomach, much like a cow, which allows them to regurgitate partially digested food as cud and chew it a second time, extracting every last bit of nutrition. The moose jaw doesn't need to unhinge because it's already a perfect engine for deconstructing the forest. Every good myth has an origin, and the unhinging moose jaw is no different. So, where did this idea come from? The most likely culprit is simple misinterpretation. A moose's yawn is a sight to behold. When it opens its mouth that wide, the gape can look enormous and unnaturally flexible, especially in a photo that freezes the motion at its most extreme point. To an untrained eye, it could easily look like the jaw is detaching at the back. The diastema, that toothless gap we talked about, also plays a role. It creates a visual break in the jawline that can fool people into thinking the jaw is made of two separate detachable pieces. Combine this with the sight of a moose peeling bark or wrestling with a large branch, and it's easy to see how the story took root. There's also a darker, more tragic source that might contribute to the myth: jaw diseases. Moose live a tough life, and their teeth wear down over time from their abrasive diet. As they get older, their teeth can loosen or fall out, leading to severe gum infections and even a condition where the jawbone itself begins to rot and weaken, known as mandibular necrosis. An animal suffering from this might have a visibly slack or loose-looking jaw. This isn't a superpower but a fatal illness that leads to starvation. It's possible that sightings of these tragically ill animals have been misinterpreted and folded into the folklore, transforming a sign of weakness and impending death into a symbol of incredible strength. To put the moose's abilities in perspective, it helps to look at its relatives in the deer family, or Cervidae. This family includes everything from the small white-tailed deer to caribou and elk. While all are herbivores, their diets, and therefore their jaws, vary. A white-tailed deer, for example, eats more delicate leaves, flowers, and acorns. Its jaw is built for cropping softer vegetation, and while it shares the same basic tooth layout and diastema as a moose, its molars are less robust. Caribou have jaws adapted for a diet heavy in lichens and sedges, with broader muzzles for scraping, What do they all have in common? Not a single one of them can unhinge its jaw. The fundamental structure of the mammalian temporomandibular joint is consistent across the family. The difference is all about scale and specialization, not a fundamental change in mechanics. A 1,600-pound bull moose needs a bigger, more powerful grinding machine to process tough, woody plants than a 200-pound white-tailed deer needs for its softer diet. The moose jaw is an outlier not because it does a unique trick, but because it's the most powerful and robust version of the standard deer design. It's the heavyweight champion of the family, built for the toughest food in the forest. So, the verdict is in. The idea of a moose unhinging its jaw is pure myth. There's no anatomical basis for it, and it contradicts everything we know about how mammal jaws work. It's a captivating story, but that's all it is. But in debunking this myth, we uncover a truth that's far more impressive. The reality is that the moose doesn't need a cheap trick like an unhinging jaw. Its mouth is already a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. It has self-sharpening incisors, a versatile prehensile lip, a built-in gap for food handling, and a set of grinding molars powered by massive muscles capable of pulverizing wood. It's a system built for immense power and endurance, perfectly adapted to its environment. The true secret weapon isn't a jaw that comes apart, but one that is built to never ever quit. The legend of the unhinging jaw actually sells the moose short. The reality of its anatomy reveals it to be one of the most formidable and specialized herbivores on the planet. If you found this look into moose anatomy fascinating, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more myth-busting content. And let us know in the comments, what other animal myths should we tackle next? Thanks for watching.